at the MinkLife Motivation Live, and today we are talking about. I have a question for you. So, are you struggling with your networking, not feeling impactful? If so, you need to be here to learn from our experts on the couch and chime in from the couch because we want you to be part of this show. Hey, welcome back. As I was saying, it's a super exciting panel today, and we are so excited for you guys to be here with us. And remember, you are also part of this show, so we want you to comment, chime in, give us your feedback. We are here to do this all together and have some fun. Let's get going. Let me introduce my co-hosts on the couch here. So we have Nancy Loeffler and Boma. Where'd the name go? Sorry, guys. The things were moving around. So Boma, Alamina. So welcome so much. So happy that you guys are here. And I, of course, am Colleen Strube. I'm the follow-up fortune finder. And let's get started. So our first question is, what is the population do you want to create impact with your business? So what population is your business really creating the impact for? And Nancy, let's start with you.
Wow, that's a really great question. And it's one that I revisit often because doing grief work, it's people don't always understand what I'm doing. So I need to talk about what I'm doing a lot. I need to connect with a lot of people, and it's the person who understands that grief is a normal part of life, and that it's something that we can move through, and it's something we can learn from, and that it's possible to have a transformation by meeting grief and saying yes to our grief journey.
So, Boma, how about you? What population are you really serving and want to make an impact in?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that question. Someone had asked me that before, and I said, I'm a financial consultant, so technically everyone have to narrow it down to exactly the population from my services would be like the young adults, people from age 25 to 55. So I'll say 25 to 55 because they are in the most their lives where you can actually plan and save and see good results by the time you age where you want to be in your distribution phase of life. So I'll say with service, small business owners, children, and family. But mostly, I'll say 25 to 55.
Yeah, that's perfect. Being really specific on who you want to address. And as Nancy was saying, it can change, right? And sometimes when we're doing networking, I tell people it's like, focus for a particular time. Maybe that's a 3-month period on a particular area that you really want to make an impact. And then you can switch it up to another area in your business. So perfect, you guys, talking about your population and the type of impact you want to make. All right, we got Monica's on the couch and she's like, hey, love it. So love those populations, right? So now we want to talk about staying inspired. And we want to look at, pop my question back up. There you go. So get motivated with today's focus on networking. So why is it important to live in your truth with your network? And Baba, let's start with you this time.
Okay. So living in your truth in your network, before you know why exactly you are doing what you're doing, your goals and what you wish with the work that you do. So you got to stay within those. This is my goal. This is what I want to do, and that helps you and it keeps you going to create that impact within the population that you choose. That will be one of the ways that I want to do that.
Awesome. Yeah. So Nancy, how about you? Why is it important to really stay in that truth of what you're doing while you're network?
It's important for me to stay in my truth because my truth is what led me to be doing the work that I'm doing. So to be able to tell my own grief story from my heart, from my own authentic self, always connects me to someone who is ready to say yes to go on their grief journey in a way that is unique to them. And so when they see me living my truth and speaking my truth, they see what's possible for them.
Yeah, I think people can just tell, right? If you're out there and you're networking and you're not living in that truth, or you're trying to be somebody you're not, people can just see right through that, and which then creates that distance between you, and it really falls apart after that. So when you really come from who you are, I think that's the best way to really out there and network and work on it. So. Now we want to look at staying inspired. So how does the lack of understanding people you support is an effective way to move through life and business? How does the lack of understanding the people you support is an effective way to move through so how is it the fact that you understanding what they need and so forth in helping your business? Nancy?
Well, understanding what my potential clients or my ideal client needs is crucial to everything, because by understanding what they need, by understanding where they may be on their grief journey, because everybody might need a different thing. If someone is in early grief, they may need something different than someone who has been on in the grief journey for a while, but not really doing the work. So understanding where they are on the grief journey, no matter how long of a time it's been since they experienced their loss. And then also understanding that the death of a loved one is what we normally think of as grief, and realizing that there are so many other times of life that bring that we experience grief, like the loss of a relationship or a job, or living through a pandemic, all the things that we lost during that time that we in some cases still don't have back. So it's really meeting my potential clients where they are, meeting my clients where they are, and understanding what they need each step of the way.
Boma, how about you? How is that understanding your people and your clients to really help you serve them?
So when it comes to finances, one thing you got to realize is it's not a one size fits all. There is no way you can design one into that box. So when I'm sitting with someone, if I don't understand needs of that individual, that family is, where they're coming from, then the whole encounter falls apart. So that's why it's very key, that initial connection with your client, with your network, to know that you're coming from, be able to read between the lines. For instance, sometimes they don't say, so you have to be like kind of be able to decode what to you. So that is really key to impacting. No understanding just means, how do I design a plan for you that is going to work for you for exactly your need is. So being able to understand And I think one of the ways to listen to what your network is saying to you, or your client that is saying, for you listen so you can get to understand where they're coming from or how you can act. So so without that understanding, the whole entire process falls apart.
Yeah, I think Monica just said, listen, right? So it's, figure out where they're coming from, because like Nancy was saying, everyone is in a different place, right? So being able to listen and understand and really get that information and figure out, okay, well, how can I best serve them, where they're at and where they want to go. So now it's time to get stay inspired. So how does the lack of understanding people? Whoops, we just did that one. I was gonna say, keep networking. My favorite one, right? So, who should you ask for help when you're trying to improve our networking? So, when you're out there and stuff, who do you turn to ask for help, or who do you look to in that case? Boma, let's go ahead and start with you. It's like,
Okay, when you want to ask for help, I what we call power partners in terms of asking for help. When you're trying for someone else that is also in a business where they meet a lot of people with those individuals. So, for instance, real estate workers, people that work like that, school teachers, because they meet a lot of families and all that. So for individuals, the person you're asking help from might not necessarily be might connect you or link you to the millions of people they know that can. So just think about a power relationship between you and that, connect with that person. That's what I would say.
Perfect. Nancy, how about you? Who do you go to for networking support? And
Yeah, I go to some of my long-term or long-time networking strategic partners. Sometimes I go to past clients who are no longer clients, clients who I worked with for a while and who saw success and are doing things of their own and on their own. Things that came out of our work together, and they're often able to connect me with people that they know because they know my work the best, except for me, and they know the value of it. So sometimes my past clients and anyone who I meet in groups like this or other groups where I see that connection. There's always looking for that connection, and it's not always. It takes time to develop that relationship. Once the relationship is there, that's when things begin to cook.
no. Monica also wants to know, are there any organizations that you work with to create impact with your clients and populations that you serve? So you guys have are there any organizations that you work with?
I'm associated with the Minnesota Death Collaborative and the Death Cafe, which there's a Death Cafe in all places, as well as the Dinner Party, which is a group that has dinners specifically for grievers.
Boma, how about you? Right there.
I'll say when it comes to organizations, right off the bat, none that I can think of that we partner with to do this. It's mostly we just do charitable organizations in terms of how to, but that is on the giving side. But when it comes to the partnerships, individuals, families, and business owners.
Mhm.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I know with a lot of times like financial planners or you mentioned realtors, right? So they'll do like shred days, right? Where they give back, they go to the community and do a shred day and they sponsor it, you know, so it's a way to give back to the community along with getting their name out there, right? So it's a combo thing. I know I belong to a networking group and we did food, not food drive, but we would give out food. So we, like every once a month on a Tuesday, we'd go, we'd, you know, somebody would drop off a truckload of food and we'd have to sort it out and then put it in bags and then hand out like a food drop off kind of thing. So it was a way to be able to give back to the community. And, you know, some of those types of events, when you do those community type events, you know, you're working side by side with somebody and you're going to naturally start to build that relationship with them. And it might not start out as business, but a lot of times, you know, people will turn to you and say, well, what do you do, you know, for business? So it's a great way to give back, to help a community and people. And when in my program, we look at community. It's like, where can you, who is helping and serving your client base, right? So how can you know, where's your client base hanging out? So think about that and then be able to serve them there. So another great question. If you could wave a magic wand, what impact would you create in the world? Alma.
That's a very tough question because I have so much impact that I would like to eradicate poverty, you know, because poverty is like so much disparities, so much, I don't know, like, because it's the root of a lot of things. When you have a poor community, they don't have the best medicines, the best healthcare, the best everything. So Nigeria, so I always want to have this feeling that I just want to go back to the healthcare system there so that people can have access to that. So because I think it also corrupts the mind when a community or a section of the community is poor. It affects the way you think, function, and everything. So I'll start with that.
There you go. That's a great one. And Nancy, how about you? What would you do with your magic wand?
I would, my magic wand would help people to realize the power of presence and how being present is the way to meet everything, including grief. And that once we get comfortable talking about things that are uncomfortable, like grief, it impacts everything else in our lives, and we're able to do whatever we want. We're able to transform our lives in ways that we never thought was possible.
Yeah, I love that one. You know, if you're staying present, right? Not living in the past, not looking to the future, you know, in the sense of you're living right in the present, that you can really make those impacts, right? That you're doing. Mine, I think, would be all about connection, right? If I could, you know, that everyone would feel connected, because I feel like if a lot of times people struggle is because they're not feeling connected to other people and they feel all alone and they feel like they can't do it. So if there was a magic wand, that would be that people would felt connected so that they know that we're all here to support each other. So
to Colleen, connected.
Yeah. So gain knowledge. So, oh my goodness, look, we're already to our last question. So final thoughts is, what is your final tip for growing your network? Like, what is your thing that you would do that would like really help you grow your network, that you're out there? And the tip to the audience, like, what is some things that you've done that has really made an impact on what you're doing? Nancy?
Follow my intuition. We don't always equate intuition with business sense, and yet because I work so intuitively, it's the only thing that works for me. So follow your intuition. If I receive intuition about going to a certain networking group, but I've never been there before, and I'm not quite sure why I'm getting that intuition, every single time I follow it, I find out why. Every single time I don't follow it, I find myself in a frustrating place and starting to feel like stuck. So follow your intuition and learn what your intuition feels like in your body.
Yeah, I know that's kind of how I got into networking, because I went to a networking meeting and an event happened, and then I just felt compelled to go back again the next week. And it was kind of like, looking back, that was my intuition, right? It was that thing that was like, oh, you need to go do this and drive, and it's what changed the directory of the where I was going. So yeah, very much so, right? Boma, how about you? What's your final thought here on how to help people get networked? And
said, Nancy, because follow your intuition really is how often do we listen to that intuition, right? You get the intuition consistently on your door, and you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, really, no, I'm not. So it's not just to get the intuition and follow it. It's like, just follow your instinct and just do what it's telling you. So I like that a lot. But I'll add relationships. Okay, you gotta build relationships, because sometimes what you I just recently went and started networking. What I find in some of, there is no relationship build, there is no connection yet, and someone is just trying to just on you or push their stuff on you, and I feel like it doesn't really work. That want to feel like you care about them, so it's not just what you're trying to do. You really care about me. So build relationships and then see how those relationships work in journey. That's what I'll add.
Perfect. I'm going to echo that as saying, be more relationship oriented versus transaction oriented. And a lot of times people who go to networking things and they just want the sale, they're just looking, they're very in the transaction. They're trying to do that. And I love hanging around people where it's all about building that relationship and seeing how we can support each other. Announcements. Should I try to do it? Announcements. So not as great as Monica. Monica does it way, way, way better. So, but Nancy, can you tell us how can people get in contact with you? I know that I've been hearing different things. I'm like, oh, we need to have another conversation. So
yeah, we do. People can get in touch with me by emailing me at nancy@beingwithgrief.com. My website is Being with Grief, and we have, my husband and I work together. We have a monthly webinar, and I'm inviting you into a 3-month special, which you can find right below my picture there. I'd love to have a conversation with you to see if you're having difficulty moving through grief, and if you don't know what to do, check my website out. There's all kinds of great stuff there.
Yeah. Thank you. Boma, how about you? How can people continue the conversation with you?
Thank you so much, Colleen, for giving me the opportunity to do that. By scheduling an appointment with me on my Calendly, and help everyone do is get them a free financial need analysis and financial planning month. So we're offering free financial plan policy reviews. A lot of people, when I talk to them, they say, oh, I have this college savings plans, but they really don't know the details. They don't know how it works. Free workshops. We're we can walk you through to understand what you have, so you know that protection and the actual protection that you actually were trying to get. So you can get in touch one-on-one appointment with me, so I can make it personal for you.
Awesome. Always get a second opinion from somebody on those type of things. So perfect. And for me, so you guys, we are super excited. Monica's coming to Maryland. So if you are anywhere close to me, let me know, because next weekend we are going to be rocking it here. We're super excited about the Fall in Love with Follow-Up Accelerator. It is on October 22nd. It is a half-day workshop where we are going to help you really get that mindset around follow-up done, get your systems in place, and you are actually going to get your follow-up done. So this is a great time to come and set yourself up for a great fourth quarter and an amazing first quarter of next year.
Quick question, Colleen.
Yeah.
Is there a fee for that?
There is a fee, and we've got like a special offer. So we are actually launching a membership. So a very super special offer that you can not only get my membership, but we're also doing a membership to the MinkLife, and it is virtual. So even though Monica's going to be hanging out with me, the workshop is virtual. So anywhere in the world, you can come join us.
Awesome. Thank you. I would love to share that with my network of friends.
Perfect. So that's what it's all about, right? Networking, getting out there, helping each other. So, and we have announcements for the community. So here we go. So the next global virtual conferences we offer, we also have a very private, we have a private group app that you can come hang out with us. We do great things. You've heard just a small piece of the knowledge that these women have, and it's amazing. Come join our community and really connect with everyone in the community. If you love community, love having people to support you, come hang out with us in the Minkuvator. I tell people this is our co-working piece. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You get to have the support of coworkers without the drama of the coworkers. So we get so much done in this event just to be able to come and hang out, support each other, get that feedback. We always talk about, especially with entrepreneurs and small business owners, you feel like sometimes you're just doing it all by yourself, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can come with us and we can help you there. We also have the live shows here. So I know if you've been on the couch, you want to be here and sharing your expertise, you can fill out the form to come be an actual guest on the show. We would love that. We then turn the show into a podcast, and then we have our publications also. And next show, Irina will help you calibrate your life, and that's on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you guys so much for being here, sharing your knowledge, gifting your information to the community. We super appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Colleen.
Yes, thank you.
Yep, no problem. And I want you guys, actions are key. Play the